Hey y'all, it's me again, Joey.
Well, ready to let them loose?
Yep, that's it. Let's see if they make us run.
Oh,
Probably so.
yeah, that one tried to get after him, but other than that, what can you expect? I mean, can you blame them? Oh yeah, they're getting after us now. Go, Joey, go!
Hey man!
Hey, man, buddy. I'm gonna get in the truck. You gotta go back and get your camera.
But also, just get as many as you can off the one next to it. Get out.
You gotta move forward.
Do that side again. Y'all ready? Let's get started. Hey, hello everyone. Here we are again, y'all. Look at that, already Nightbot's already on the job. Everybody's staying light butt. How's everybody over in the chat doing tonight? Hope y'all doing good.
Doing wonderful. I
Yes,
am.
I'm doing wonderful. JW's wonderful. I'm wonderful.
Yeah. What you been up to, Mr. Ed?
Oh, about 5'7", you know, 158, I think.
I might have you by about 100.
Well, I watched your video this morning there, Joey, and
Yep.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
and I was thinking when you open that thing up, the one of the first frames that you pulled out, I saw the wax moth on it that you didn't see, and then a couple of frames later, then you did see one of them. But I'm telling you, if you'd have waited another week, that thing would have been loaded with them things.
Yeah. I figured I found them last week, and I figured that they had already tore it up. You know, that's why I didn't get in a hurry trying to clean it up.
Yeah.
Because most times once they get all that brood nest eat up, they just kind of stop moving around. And my
Right.
point for the video really was going
I
to be,
know that you want to show the stuff
yeah,
that didn't have brood on it.
but they hadn't even got started good.
Yeah.
Trying to
So
get
like,
this thing to pin.
so well, like you said, you'll be having that stuff for swarm traps next year.
Yep,
Because
most likely.
you know, the colder weather when it comes, that's the end of the beetles and the moths. You know, everything is slowing down right now. And
Yeah, I was kind
eggs,
of surprised that that one had anything in it as cool as weather we've been having.
yeah.
And it's got that open bottom. I just figured there wouldn't be much going on in there with a dead out.
Uh-huh. Well, you were able to get a couple of nice frames out of that thing.
Yeah.
You'll be like me. You're staving your old comb for swarm stuff for next year.
Yeah.
I got at least a dozen boxes of it right now. I'll have plenty to give away
Huh.
because I won't be using that much. But
I,
speaking of the swarms, I am going to be building some of your swarm traps this year over the winter. I want to get at least 6 of them done because those are the best swarm traps they got. Is those extended bottoms on them?
they are.
There's no doubt they catch swarms. And what I really like about them is they will draw that comb down, and I like that. That way, if they draw the comb down, you just cut it off, and it's already put it into another frame behind it. So you know you get 5 or 7 frames depending on how big you build your
Yeah.
box, and then you can add a couple more, fill up a 10-frame box, no problem.
If you're gonna build some, go ahead and um, build it where you can separate that bottom, and you could throw empty frames down there where they
What
can
you
still
mean?
build.
What you mean?
Huh?
I don't understand what you're saying.
You can't hear me?
No, I don't understand what you're telling me to do.
Oh, and instead of just one deep box, make it like
Yeah.
2 new boxes put together, like buckle them together or something.
Yeah. What's the reason for that?
That way you can put frames in the bottom too, but empty frames, no old comb or anything, just empty frames, and just let them build naturally down there.
I see what you're saying.
That way you don't have to do the little removal like I have to do if I don't take them down. If it's a good swarm, if they're in there longer than 4 days, they're going to be in the bottom.
They will. They will. This year, I actually left them out there on purpose so that they would do that, so that I could fill in some extra frames. So I don't mind doing that. It works so well. But I agree. If I added, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna still do it the way we've been doing it, man. That's too much work.
The old-fashioned way,
Yeah, because I think there's something about the space underneath the frames that makes it attractive to the swarm.
Yeah.
As well as the space in the open frames, but the space underneath as well. Just what I think.
Yeah, I used to enjoy doing those little removals, and it makes pretty decent video. A lot of people like to watch that. But I don't know how many swarm traps I'm going to put out this year. I'm trying to get down to 20 hives. You know that, 20, 25. You can't do that if you're going to keep catching swarms too, can you, JW?
I'll quit. That's how many I'm gonna. That on my hand there. That's how many I'm gonna set out this year.
I just can't help myself.
Well, it's what it is. I've got too many now.
Hey, Tom. And Melissa. I didn't see her. There you are.
Yes,
I'm doing all the work. I'm here doing all the work like usual.
Yep, she's the one always working.
Hey, Joey.
Tom's a real supervisor. He just acts like she is.
I was going to say salesman, but yeah, I like that.
What is she doing, Tom?
She's bottling honey right now.
Oh, okay.
We just finished a market today. It's a 2-day market, so we came back it finished for today, of course, but we had to refill.
What are you going to make her do next?
Well, my truck needs wax on it, so she'll probably have enough time with it.
Jeez.
That's
how you doing, Mr. Ed?
For you, she'll wax your car too.
See, those wives are our helpmate, right, Mr. Ed?
Yeah, and plus, they like mine. I mean, she makes them quilts, and they really keep you warm too.
That's right.
And I'm like JW. I like to have a lot of heat around me when I'm sleeping.
Yep. The older you get, the colder it gets. Seem like.
I agree, JW. Look, when we go to bed, she throws another quilt on my side just to cover me up. She knows I like them things.
That's awesome.
Joey, did you see my comment in your video today?
Yeah, I saw a little of it. I hadn't really got to respond to nobody yet.
Well, I hope you don't land in YouTube or Facebook jail.
Well, I was actually going to type this to you when I had a chance to type, but when I was uploading that video, it uploads fast now that I got this new internet, but they review it. After it uploads, it takes a little time to review it. And as soon as it uploaded, it said what's it called?
Watch it.
No, one
You're on-
issue or something like that, and they have to review that. I don't know if it was the title that gave them the issue or me slapping that hive tool down.
I saw that.
You didn't see anything that said you're on thin ice?
No, it went
Okay.
away after they got through reviewing it. Said all clear.
I say keep going until they put you in jail there.
Hey, Joey, I'll tell you, I learned it's best, don't even, once you upload the video, don't even look at it until it's posted, because you're going to get all nervous about getting the possible gigs on you.
Yeah. The only reason I saw it, I went ahead and made a picture, whatever you call it. I can't even think straight.
A thumbnail.
And was going to upload it to it, and that's when I saw it.
Uh-huh.
I said, "Well, you rascals!"
What are you talking about? You squishing that?
Yeah. Don't say that, JW. Don't say that.
Squishing
He's playing
that little innocent
He's playing whack-a-mole with the moth.
wax moth. I usually take a shotgun to them.
I just want to take another minute to say hey to everybody over there in the chat. I hadn't responded to anybody. Just want to say hey to everybody. I'm trying to leave nobody out.
Well, who's over in the chat, Joey?
You don't see them?
No.
There's 60 people over there.
Yeah, right. Man, if I had 60 people watching my stuff, I'd be real happy.
Yeah.
Well,
you don't see
That's
them?
because your video's too early in the morning for everybody to get up and watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that, Melissa. I know because I post on Monday, I posted and at 5 o'clock, and they got people watching it at 5 o'clock. So I don't know.
You have one coming up next Saturday, right? Or is it the first Saturday?
It's the first Saturday of the month. I do what Joy does. I go live, but every Friday I post a video, and then if you're a member on the channel, then you can watch it on Monday. So I give them a few days early, just a sneak preview.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that one, Keith. Who actually disputed it? If you had permission.
Well, if it was JW and Boz singing, JW might have disputed it. I don't know. Could be.
You notice these? You ever watch these chats that I'm on, Jeff? It's always my fault. You ever watch that? I don't know why, but it's my fault. I'm always the fall guy.
Mike, that ain't true. You come on in here.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired now, boys.
Hey, we weren't JW. We weren't blaming you. I mean, you're my best pal, so only one that puts up with me.
What can I say?
I should have texted Shawee today and told him to come live. I didn't even think about that.
Mona actually asked if he was going to be on tonight.
Well, I need to try to get him to come on. He actually might try to come to our meeting Thursday. You coming?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there on this Thursday. Kent's taking care of the leading it out, huh?
I think so. I'm gonna sit in the back and keep my coffee
nice and hot.
Yeah, it's hot. You know that pot's hot.
It is hot. It is hot. Hey, I got a good one for you, Joey. For years and years, on the end of my video, when I close out my videos and I put up that Studio B production little sign, and I always had this little music playing. I mean, that was what I always played for. I'm telling you, since I began the channel, and about, I guess about a month ago, I got a music gig saying I can't use that video anymore, that music anymore, because now it's copyrighted. So if you notice now on the end of my videos, I don't have any music. I just put bees in there.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why is because that music that I was using is now copyrighted. Now, if you go on my old videos, it's still playing, but any new one, I can't play it on it.
Some of those, you got to watch them. Some of those, even the free versions of the YouTube music,
Yeah.
it'll tell you if it's forever or for a certain amount of time.
Right.
And somebody, I can't remember who it was. I think it was another YouTuber that talks about putting music on the YouTube. And he had lost some videos like that because it was free to use when he uploaded the videos. Several years later, he had to take them down.
Well, they haven't made me take any of mine down because of it.
Well, some of them you don't have to. You just can't do it anymore.
Right. That's what this one is. You can't do it anymore.
You know what I miss, Jeff, at the end of your videos are the outtakes. I love those things.
You know, I just lately I just don't want the videos to run on and it's just like, so lately I've been trying to cut them down less than 15 minutes. I don't want them to go long anymore because it's just, and so those outtakes, I used to put those things on there as filler because I didn't have any content. Well, now I got too much stuff, and Charlie, he won't film just casual stuff. He just wants to get the meat of the stuff. So I don't say anything. Sometimes I do say, Charlie, start filming. You know, like when we're talking and stuff. Because like when we go eat or something like that, those kind of things. But I don't know. I will. I like doing that too. I did like the mistakes that we made, but I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, I love those.
So who's in the chat room, Joey? I saw Keith.
Oh, man, we got a ton of people over there. There's 69 people here now.
Well, how come I don't see that?
You're supposed to say hi to Mr. Don Bearden too, by the way, Ed. Seriously.
There's probably something you need to click on over there on the right somewhere.
Like on comments.
Maybe so. Let me see. Oh, there they are. Oh my goodness.
I hate to start calling their names because there's so many on here and we'll miss them. Somebody.
Oh, yeah, I see him now. Look, even Lee's there tonight, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And Grammy midwife Lisa came and visited me a couple of weeks ago. They were going down to I think Mexico, her and her buddy, and they stopped by the Abbey and visited for a while. That was nice.
You see that one?
Man, Lee got a lot of people telling him hello. There's Brian. So I went and had talked with Brian in his club one day. It was one day this week or last week. Talked about rendering wax, my favorite thing. So that was a fun thing. Yeah, you got some of the good stuff, huh, Lisa? I'm gonna enter that stuff in the black honey contest this year at the Navi. That honey is just unbelievable good.
What's up, Big Mike?
How much? How are you?
I'm good.
Yep, only once a month. That's how I do it.
Matt.
Hey, all you guys are going to be getting rain. It's rained here oh gosh, since yesterday at lunch. It's been raining all day today, half the day yesterday. It's supposed to rain until Tuesday, I think now. So you guys are going to get something here pretty soon.
That's what
That's
happens when
good.
you order a battery operated smoker. It rains.
Hey, that thing is the cat's meow. I'm telling you, that's an awesome tool. I can't wait to get it.
I think that's a pretty cool tool myself. I do.
And
That was
what's
good
funny
chat.
is during COVID, I was out at the farm every day. I had nothing else to do, and I started thinking about, well, I gotta clear some of this brush or this grass because it's going to be brown in a couple of months. And I was worried about a fire, and right before or right up to COVID, you've seen a lot of kids vaping. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be something if you could get like the little vape machine things and make it smoke into a beehive? And I'm not kidding you. I was thinking of that. I had it in the back of my head, but I never did anything with it. And then I seen Michael's video not too long after that, and I thought, holy cow, this guy's he's way ahead of me. Yeah, I'm so glad it came out. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. It was so fun to test it too. It was great.
I updated my payment or whatever, my order twice during the chat last night.
Did you get a case, the carrying case?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you would need one of those because you could misplace that thing because it's small enough, but if you keep it in the case, you're never going to lose it.
Yeah.
Hey, if you get the full meal deal, I checked through there last night. I'm gonna have to take out a bank loan if I get the full meal deal. I think I'll just stick with what I do. Nothing.
Maybe Tom will get you one for Christmas.
Yeah, I'm expecting that, or Joey maybe send me one. Full meal deal is $300. You get everything on the additions.
Yeah,
An extra coil and a box and the
I got a couple of extra coils and refills.
Yeah. I'm around that number myself, but I think it's worth it.
Hey Clay, I was wondering how come you never came and saw me. If you're in St. Petersburg, I wasn't that far away from you. I was in Palm Springs last Friday.
Palm Springs in California.
West in Florida.
I know.
I talked to Clay about that. He said something about coming seeing you and decided it wasn't worth the effort.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I'm sure I'm going to see him again at Navi this year.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Sure you will. You got enough of those
prison shanks
made up.
I got to start making them up. I'll be bringing them again, but I gotta make them up.
No, I'm putting the word out on you how you make those. Everybody thought you was really going to a lot of extra effort.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of effort. Look, I gotta get that piece of plywood, put it on the machine, go over and touch that start button, and then sit back, and then I gotta pull it off and cut them out.
That I was really kind of amazed at that deal when I seen the sheet that I think Lee took the sheet, didn't he? Or one of the sheets he cut out full sheet. Didn't he have a full sheet from you that's been cut out?
Who has that?
Lee Quimby?
I've given a bunch of them away. They actually look pretty good. That when you cut the knives out of them, that piece of plywood does look pretty cool.
I remember when he used to bring them to the Covington meeting. You're about to get tackled.
You know, Joey, and I when we first started going over at Julian's, there was a guy there. He lived somewhere around Hammond, and he was a woodworker, and he actually brought me the one that I first got, and it was it was from a beekeeper up north, Ohio or Illinois, someplace up there, that he made them and sold them. And so this guy, and I can't even remember his name, but he was a really nice guy, and he brought me one, and that was the original one. That's where I took all the measurements off of that one, that I now still use for the production of them. And it's in a program now at the Abbey, so I don't have to remember anything. I'll just have to pull up the program is called Prison Shanks, and I just pull it up and put the board on the machine, suck it down, and the machine cuts it out. I just have to pull them out and sand them up a little bit. I don't have to do very much to them. Now, Mike, you love those CNCs. They're really good.
Everybody don't have this one.
You got one of the good ones. Yeah, that's a good one, because I didn't do that for too many of them.
That one's never been in a hive.
Yeah, that is one of the original ones that I put St. Joseph Abbey on.
I've got one from you, and I've got about 20 that I made, but I made all of mine by hand.
Well, I used to make them by hand, JW. In fact, I've been talking to Matt at Premier, and John from Hilco. I want those guys to start producing them on their 3D printers, because show them what you got, Joey. Who made Lee made these, or that's from Baker's Bee, right?
Baker's, yeah.
Yeah, because he sent me one as well. And that's really how they should be made, because boy, they're really strong. I really like them.
I heard somebody come in. There he is. Hey.
Hey, Brad.
Everybody.
Been waiting on you.
Yeah. It didn't turn on my secret screen here.
How did you get across the border, Brad?
And look at this. Long sleeves. I haven't worn a long sleeve shirt in years. As you can imagine by this stuff behind
It
here.
must be really cold. Huh?
How cold is it up there?
It's not cold at all. Well, for Canada. Was 4 degrees today. Beautiful sunny day.
That's 39F.
Well, yeah. It's -2 right now. It's been very consistent. It's only gone between -5 and +5 for quite a few days. It's just been, it's the middle of November, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
That's absolutely disgusting.
No, it's beautiful.
What do you think, Joey?
Huh?
What do you think about -5?
That's a little chilly.
That's 23 degrees.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter if it's a minus. I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, if water ain't liquid, that's a little too cold. No, it's really beautiful. The grass is still green. I keep meaning to go cut the grass, but worked in the shop all day.
Wish I could say that. I was on the bees all day.
Oh yeah. Well, too bad.
Wrapping hives.
Yeah. I won't be in the bees for quite a number of months.
Mine were flying today at 42, bringing in pollen. I have no idea where they were getting it. Everything's brown here.
Yeah.
It was almost 80 here today. Got 78, 79.
Really?
My kind of temperature, JW.
But when I go out there and it's, I don't know, it's been maybe 5, 8 degrees, beautiful sunny day, no wind. It's just so perfect. You can work all day. You don't overheat. You don't get, dried out in the sun or anything. It's just so perfect. Really, really enjoy it. I don't like what is coming. Like, I wish that this is as bad as it got, but but then again, it starts to get above 20 degrees outside and I start to melt. So it's all conditioning, I think. What about 70? About 70F is when it starts to get too hot for me.
And that's when it's just perfect for me.
68 is 20.
Yeah,
That's good. I've
68 is
never
20.
seen anybody remove hive beetles with a bee vac.
Well, I'm next week I'm going to do another video because right now I'm going and pulling all my third supers off of all the hives right now, and I did some at the Abbey this week, and I still had a bunch of beetles and a bunch of them. That's the good thing about this cold weather. That's the only thing good about cold weather, that it slows the moss and the beetles down, and I still had a bunch of beetles in them, and I don't think I vacuumed the bees at the Abbey with the bee vac. I only did that on the hives outside.
That was amazing how many hive beetles were in there.
Oh, it's disgusting.
And it was amazing. I only saw you get like 1 or 2 bees.
Well, and
You were
even the
going at
bees,
high speed vacuuming them.
when I vacuum them up, the bees, I can open up the bottom of the bee vac and the bees will fly out. The beetles will stay in there, but the bees will fly out. So it doesn't matter if I capture bees or not. I don't want to, but when I was actually impressed myself how fast I could suck up those beetles, because I didn't want a YouTube to be gigging me like they did Joey. So poor Joey.
I think they were just jealous of my dancing.
Your moves. Mike, I had some terrible beetle problems this year. I really did. I'm kind of anxious to go check on that one yard, the worst one, our St. Teresa yard, because every one of those things had hundreds of beetles in them. And so I'm really curious when I go back this week to find out how much of a dent I put in them. I'm going to be making comment on it. Trust me.
I saw more beetles in that video than I have in my entire life.
Jeff,
times about 100.
Jeff,
Yes.
just don't smash them with the hive tool unless you want a YouTube vacation.
Oh, I know. I've done that with the hive tool, and I never got gigged for it. But
I see everybody do it.
yeah,
I know, me too.
I don't know why they're picking on poor Joey Rouse.
Yeah, just don't stomp them with music going.
Are you supposed to check the box that says if there's any violence in your video? Are you supposed to check that box? Make sure it's not made for kids.
Yeah, that was automatic.
What you ought to do, Ed, is just get you a soda straw and give it your running mate there a good time, Charlie, and just let him suck them out.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Paul said, "Come on down to Louisiana, Mike. He'll introduce you to the hive beetles."
I saw 5 this year. They came in on my honey supers. That was the only 5 I saw.
Well, Jeff, what you were saying about the cold is how I feel about hive beetles. So I think we're pretty well even.
Well, trust me, there's no love in my heart for a hive beetle. None.
No love in my heart for winter either. So I think we are even. You live where you live, and I live where I live, but it's just what it is.
Yeah, exactly. When I was growing up, my dad was in the military, so we moved around a bunch, and the best 5 years of my life is living in Panama, the Canal Zone, where it was 70 to 80 degrees all year long. It was better than weather out in San Diego, and I've been out to San Diego several times, and it's beautiful out there. But I'd rather live in the Canal Zone than in there as far as temperature wise go. It's true. 3 or 4 months out of the year, it rains every single day during the rainy season. But man, I can remember when we moved back to the States in '69, we moved back in December, and we've been down there for 5 years. We didn't have any clothes, cold weather clothes. And I remember getting off the airplane in New Orleans, and it was like about 35 degrees, and I was crying because I couldn't stand it. Said, what is this?
35. Yeah, you'd have to put a jacket on for 35.
It may have been 50, but it doesn't matter to me. It was miserable. It wasn't no 70 or 80 degrees.
70.
Oh, it was terrible.
I tell you what used to be rough for me when I was in New York. I used to fly home pretty regular, and in the wintertime, I'd catch a plane up there and never notice any difference the whole time I walked in the airport, getting on the plane, flying, and stepping off the plane. But as soon as you got out of the little hallway where you get off the plane, that humidity in New Orleans and that heat would just hit you like a hot water hose. It just knocked you down. Man, it'd take me, I'd stay home 2 or 3 days, and it'd take those whole 3 days trying to get used to this Louisiana heat again.
And you was a young man then, huh, Joey?
Yeah, I was in my 30s then.
Oh, the 30s.
Yeah.
The best times of life right there.
No, I wouldn't say that. Now is the best time. Huh, JW? Now is the best time.
Who's that old guy next to JW?
I appreciate your positive outlook, Jeff. I really do.
I don't know where it's Todd or who it is.
Hey, what do you mean? I'm not old.
No, I don't think he was talking about you.
I didn't accuse you of being old.
JW said he was.
Oh,
I'm just sitting here minding my business, and he starts picking on me.
You forgot the other night, remember? I told you I'll get even.
Yeah, I know. Have you and Matt had an arm wrestle match for who's picking me up at the airport in January?
I told you I could care less.
Okay.
He wants to get you, well, that's fine with me. I told you, I will see that you get there one way or another. Maybe.
Yeah, I'll get there.
what's up, Charlie?
Oh, not much.
It was a good chat last night.
Well, thank you. I had, I know Keith commented and a couple others really enjoyed it last night. And some of them went ahead and got their new smokers. I did figure out how to today finally to go back on my account and add the case and extra oil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you do the same thing but had a different outcome? Or did you find what to
It's
do?
kind of, you went through back to the edit thing, and then you got to where you went to the other screen, and it showed your price, your original thing, and about something about repledging or something like that, you know. So I went ahead and hit, well, it wasn't an update. It went to the update, and then it went back to where you had to like hit the pledge button again.
Oh.
And then it brought you back to where you had all the accessories that you could add onto it. So I went ahead and got a new bottle of oil and a case and an extra heating element.
Mine does that all the time where I'm on the phone or the camera.
Mine doesn't seem to have that problem on that. So I got out in the bee yard today and I hit them with oxalic acid and I covered up the hives that are exposed to the wind. So I actually did find a hive beat. I went and opened up the hive or so just to kind of check on clusters and darn if I didn't see a hive beetle in there. I'm gonna have to. That's unusual for me.
That's unusual, yeah.
I think my carpet that's underneath these hive stands that keep the beetles from germinating or whatever you want to call it, pupating. I need to replace them. Get something fresh underneath there.
Try shag. I hear that works real good.
We probably wouldn't have to go in the ground with shag.
Yeah. That's what's been happening here. It got up to about 52 degrees here today. That was the high. It was supposed to get into the 60s, but it was overcast and everything else. But it was easy as far as like this morning when I hit them with OA, it was like 48 degrees, 50 degrees, close to 50. They weren't flying, just was able to button them up and blow some smoke into them.
Joy, I guess Tom could bring Melissa over on here. That's about as close as you're going to get to Mexico with this bunch.
She just walked back in and heard that.
Get on here, wetback.
Whatever.
Hey, she's not going to forget that.
Or Sandy could get his green Carter on here also. Matt's got one too.
Oh my word! What are we gonna do with you?
I'm just going to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, James.
YouTube's watching. That man in the corner up there did that.
JW, look what Matt said.
He's, you know how he lies.
Yeah, James, I need the extra heating coil. It does wear out after a while.
Yeah, we'll hold up a sign for you.
I'm scared of
Get out of town, and they run down. Let's
read it.
Be like old Marshall Dillon. Yeah, we love you.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Charlie, I think that question that James Noah put up was for you.
Yeah, it was. I said it. I bought an extra coil just to have on hand because, the coil for me might last a year, might last, or more. But now he was Michael that was saying the manufacturer, if let's say a commercial guy was using that thing on a daily basis, it might only last 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part would definitely be a maintenance item. That's not a forever part.
I bought 2 extras. I figured
they were $3.
Was it, Joey? $3? I mean, can't go wrong. I mean, the fact of the matter is it all boils down just like beekeeping. You don't wait till the day you need boxes to go get boxes. You have boxes in the shed ready to roll.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works, Mr. Ed.
I don't know. I got a wood shop. I can get them the same day.
You work a lot faster than I do.
Hey,
all those winter covers are gone, Brad.
I got to plan months in advance if I want anything out of my wood shop.
Somebody asked me one time, said, how do you figure how many boxes you're going to need for the next season? I said, well, whatever you got living now, double that. Don't count anything in the shed and add 10%. You might not have to buy anything this middle of the summer.
I was actually thinking about that today. I'm thinking, how many supers am I going to need for if I go up to 200 and I got 3 on each one? That means I got to count how many boxes I got, and I gotta start thinking about that stuff already. Oh no, it's just ridiculous.
Weren't you downsizing a little bit? You had, what was it?
Oh yeah,
3 or 4
I know
hives
my number is 150. That's my number, but I can't help myself because I'm gonna do cutouts. I'm gonna catch swarms, and Next thing I
Well,
know, I'm
you know.
200 plus. It's just, it gets out of hand. Y'all know that. It's
Yeah.
not our fault.
Yeah. You know, it's one of them bad habits, you know.
Well, I tell you, if none of them died, I don't know what we would do. I only know one thing that's easier to raise than bees, or faster to raise, is rabbits. I used to raise rabbits when I was a youngin'.
Did you ever think about making a YouTube channel on rabbits, Joey?
I didn't know what YouTube was then.
It wasn't then. It wasn't YouTube. That was before
Hey,
the button
hey,
machine.
Joey, we really had Michael going last night when I said, "Oh yeah, Joey's was in prison for 24 years."
Yeah, I saw that.
He was talking about using the new smoker machine he's venting, Mr. Head, in the prisons, because they couldn't have real smoke, and he believed that Joey was got out of prison.
Well,
Joey
look
said,
at
"Yeah."
that face. That guy's got to be a convict.
Joey said, "Yeah, for 20." The conversation was going on. He
10
said,
years and 4 months.
"I was there for 27 years."
Yeah.
His eyes got big, his mouth dropped.
Look at there, boys. Clay Bunner can walk on water.
I thought it was the Gulf of America.
That's right.
Well, I tell you, it's raining pretty good here. I could hear it.
It's supposed to start here Tuesday and next week and rain for
Hey,
Tuesday,
Joey,
Thursday.
mind if I share what I was working on in the shop?
You ready?
I got to give props to Phil in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a bunch of my scrap wood, started making little crates.
Look out, Philip.
Yeah. I got to compete with Philip.
Yeah.
I got to get the little bags that he's got in the shrink wrap and whatnot.
Yeah.
Make those up for Christmas. So I've made them up so they'll fit 3 jars. So you can put my squeezy in a couple jars or a candle in the middle.
Looks good.
I've been selling gift packs like that for quite a few years at least one of my stores. They go quite well.
What kind of wood is that, Brad?
Typically we use spruce here.
It looked like
but some of those more narrow slats on the side is actually pine.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just left over from some of the box wood that I was using.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of pine around here unless you kind of special order it in because it doesn't really grow here.
Right.
Look at her head. There's my buddy.
You gonna start singing?
Oz.
You gonna sing a tune?
No, we're not singing. No.
Why not? You almost got me kicked out already, so go ahead.
No, not tonight.
Uh-oh.
I know, I hear it.
He's wanting to sing.
It was in my stomach.
Mm-mm.
Here we go.
Not tonight. We're not singing tonight, Joey. You can undo me. Thank you.
Hey, JW, I like your background tonight.
Have you ever? You know where that's at?
I've seen it a time or two.
He had another one you'd recognize on the other night. Was that 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think. Actually, I just erased that this evening off of my
Erased it.
for background. I should have kept it on there. I didn't know you was going to have the King of the Abbey on.
You know, you don't have to erase it.
No, they all stay there.
Uh,
I don't know how you erase them. Just keep adding.
I've almost got my full screen full, so I can't keep them all on there. I can probably, I don't know. Let me see if I can pull it up, even if I can find it.
Man, that's quiet.
So what are you doing down there, Jeff? Is the bees all done for you, or what? Down there in Louisiana.
Talking to you, Jeff.
Oh, he's
Uh,
talking to me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know whether to call you Mr. Ed or call you Jeff, you know?
No, it don't matter. Just don't call me late for dinner. That's all.
That's great. Agree.
They're they're just, I guess, shutting down, just like everything else. You know.
I
That
mean, it's still warm down there, isn't it?
yeah, it's still warm, but there's nothing per se blooming. There's stuff blooming because they're bringing in pollen from something, but
Mhm.
there's no major flow going on that you know. So and then even in the hives that I'm pulling out of people's houses, you see the decline in brood production. So I mean, it's winding down. It's not by any means over with yet, because typically I would say it's beginning of December is when it's really shuts down. But for us, we start coming out of the winter in late December, mid December, when our willow and red maples start blooming. We had the red maples were blooming last year. Um, it was like December the 15th that we had blooms on the maple trees. So they were starting the pollen production at that time. So that when people talk about brood breaks, I always kind of laugh because we really don't have a brood break per se here in Louisiana, at least. I mean, there's a slow production of brood, but it never completely stops. You never completely out of brood. There's always brood in the box, and I would say there's always a drone or two you can find in not necessarily in your box, but I found them in January. I found drones in cutouts, so it's not they don't all disappear. But speaking of that, I did a cutout. It was on the video I posted, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. Charlie and I did a cutout in is an apartment building, and I mean, it was a tough removal because the bees had gone between the wall and the brick. There's no way to access them. And I vacuumed 2 vacuums of bees. I vacuumed tons of robber bees up in there. And and I know I got all the bees that were there. So I know I got the queen, but yet when I got back, I couldn't find her. I never found her. And so I would kept going back into that same box 2 or 3 days in a row, and then like on the third day, I saw they were starting to draw out emergency cells, and so I knew I didn't have a queen in the box. I hadn't found her, and then it was Friday, which was yesterday, I think. Yeah. I went in there, and there's a new queen in there, and I saw drones still in the box. So they are going to push a lot of those drones out, but there were still drones in there. So she's going to get mated, and it'll all work out. But I
Right.
was just impressed that the queen that I saw, she was a big, beautiful queen that came out of an emergency cell. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those bees are going to make out because the genetics on those bees, they were very gentle bees, and man, they had a lot of honey, they had a lot of wax. So I think it's a good
Well,
line of bees.
you say you don't treat. Is that because you're getting this, I'll say, feral genetics in that seem to be
No,
able to?
I don't treat because I don't like spending money on that, and I'm cheap and I'm lazy. That's why I don't treat.
Yeah, I get that. I don't think your beehives really die out because of that, do they?
I mean, we have losses. Typically, it's 25, 35% in that range every year. It's which is that's what almost everybody, whether you treat or not, that's your losses. Now, I mean, granted, if you treat, sometimes you're going to get lower than that, but it to me it just never made sense monetarily and time wise to treat, and since I don't have a problem like most beekeepers of getting more bees. It just didn't make sense for me to do it, and I don't do it. And I mean, it's fine. I think everybody should take care of the bees the best that they can manage to take care of their bees. I don't recommend anybody doing the way I do it, but it just works for me. It works for me.
Well, I mean, I'll have to say that you and Dirt Rooster, you guys have an abundance of wild bees that you can, that you seem to get around here. We don't have that. Putting out swarm traps, you might get one. You're getting what, 20, 30 trap outs a year.
There's, I can guarantee. I do it probably. I don't do a lot of as many removals as Randy. Randy probably does 200.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys are always working. Game of who gets the most.
Right.
Swarm traps.
Yeah, this year I think that I had 22 and Randy at 23, and we're not even trying to catch swarms. That's just I put them out there because I like doing it. I'm not aggressively trying to go catch swarms. I don't need to catch the bees. And Charlie does the same thing, but he gives all his swarms away. He has all his set up by the golf course. He he just sets traps around the golf course by his house and he catches them. I mean, we do have a lot of bees in our area. It's just the area that we live in. I think is just very conducive. The environment. We don't have large agricultural sites.
Right.
We have lots of marsh areas, swampy areas, water. The habitat is good for bees to develop, and it's what can I say? We live in a good area if you want to be a beekeeper.
Right.
Yeah, our free air clusters don't do well in the winter. Like you have those free air clusters, no hives.
The open air.
Yeah, open air.
They
don't do well up
make
here.
it down here either.
No, they don't. Typically, an open air colony isn't going to get more than 2-3 years old because the weather is going to tear it apart. The weather between the heat and they just fall apart because there's so much weight in there. They just fall apart, or the wind, the limbs tear them up. They just don't last that long. I know. Remember a couple of years ago, the University of New Orleans, LSU in New Orleans, they had a huge one. That thing was about 4 feet long, and it was on the third story of a building on an overhang of the roof, and it was summertime, and it was just disintegrating, falling apart from the weight of the honey and the comb, just tearing it apart. And it was just big chunks of it were just falling and hitting on the ground. And then even a few years prior to that, I had done a removal up in Baton Rouge at the Port of Baton Rouge, and the Port of Baton Rouge, the Mississippi River Bridge crosses right there, and there was a monstrous open air colony underneath the bridge, underneath the port, and I found big pieces of wax on the ground from that hive that was, I don't know, a couple 100 feet up in the air. I mean, it's just they just fall apart. They're not going to stay intact for a long time. Now that one Charlie and I did last year, I think it was last year. That was a big one. That thing had to be 3.5, 4 foot tall, and it was 2 years old. But that one, they had built it on a big limb, like this big around, and that one may have been able to stay around for a while. But I know the property owner, he had cattle out there, and he didn't want any endangerment to the cows, so he asked us to remove it. But that was a beautiful hive.
Jeff, you see Eddie's question?
I did not see it. Is your wax skipping guy coming? You know, my video next week is going to be one with Muscle Man in it, and I got to call him up. He went, and I still don't understand. He has a truck driving school, so he has that business, but he loves driving trucks, and he's on the road driving trucks right now. So he's been out of the picture, but I got to get back in touch with him and and find out about what his wax dipping, what he wants to do, because he was all gung ho. He wanted to set that thing up and go to clubs and do that. But he hasn't told me anything about it. But I know he's got the process down, because he and I worked all the bugs out when we did that video on it. So when I find out something, I'll let everybody know about it. There was another question too, wasn't there?
Uh,
Oh, no, is it the rooster competition?
oh, that was right here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
He
I
beat
said,
me this year.
I think that Randy has one up on me on this year. So right, and we go all the way to the end of December. But Randy counts, if it had a queen and two bees, he'd count that as a swarm. So that guy's got no scruples.
That's hardly a colony, isn't it, Mr. Ed?
Randy will argue that point.
I bet.
Does he put him in a nuke?
Well, yeah. It was a 10 frame though. It wasn't a new. It was a 10 frame. You know, because he knows they're going to grow into it.
Well, I'm going to hit the road, guys.
Well, I was chicken last night.
What's that?
I'm going to hit the road as well.
Night?
Great talking to everybody this evening. Joey,
You
thanks
need
for having me on.
Good seeing you, Mr. Ed.
Good night, everybody.
Stay free.
Thanks, Todd.
Hey, Todd.
Thanks, Jeff.
Hey, Todd.
God
Yeah.
bless.
JW has a question for you.
Oh, he always does. Right when I want to leave, he's going to give me a Spanish acquisition. He's over at the Vatican again.
I know. Well, he's got to repent.
Oh yeah,
all those
Jeff
times
didn't
he's
even get
wronged
to see
you.
that.
Well, I have some guys coming over for the UFC fights tonight, so I got to get moving. But last night, chicken was good. It was good.
Do you have something on the grill tonight?
No, leftovers.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah.
Well, depends. What is it?
It's just chicken. I made extra chicken.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Where did Brad go? Bootsy's covering up Brad.
I think
Sit down.
Brad's cat's bigger than JW's dog.
Sit down. I think he is.
I know what he's whipping my dog. My dog afraid he's scared to death of cats. He lives with cats.
Cat will tie a licking on a dog, no problem.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll see you later. Have a good
Good,
one.
Todd.
Who's coming over for the fight? Who's on the
Oh,
fight?
a bunch of the guys are coming over.
And that being
So are
JW,
you
did he
gonna
invite you?
Todd, or what?
Just
Not
college buddies.
JW.
Just yeah.
you,
Well,
mean like Sandra and Alice and Vivian?
no, just some college.
So
just some
is this
college-
So what are we having, a midget mud wrestling in your basement? Or
No, Jello, Charlie.
Why do I keep walking in at the inappropriate times?
All right. Well, I'll see.
You
I'll
better
catch
run, Todd. You better run.
Yeah, I know. I'll catch up with you.
Wait,
guys.
one more question now.
It better be a fast one.
If you're gonna put
You're gonna have to
rules
talk
on it,
faster
I'm
than
not
that,
participating. I'm not going to there.
What? Now you withdraw your question?
No.
Oh, we
I'm
haven't.
not gonna ask you no more if you're gonna put a time limit on it.
Just hang up on him.
Good night.
Oh.
Good night,
All
Todd.
Well, everybody have a good weekend, and even JW. How about that?
All right, buddy. Thank
Give
you.
it your W.
See you, Todd.
See you, Todd.
You can always get him to hang on for an extra 5 or 10 minutes usually.
Well, I mowed my bee yard this afternoon, Tom. For the last time, I hope.
It was pretty warm out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had 79 most I seen.
We don't need it to be that warm this late in the year. All that's going to happen is those bees are going to consume all those stores if they stays too warm.
I've been putting out feeding my robin station. They're going through about 15 pounds every couple of 3 days.
On pollen and stuff?
Six out at my place and 2 over to other, or 1 each over to other 2 yards of mats.
Yeah.
is that pollen or liquid?
Both. I had some junk fondant from last year, and some. They like the pollen best. They're working it the best because that's easiest for them to. I think.
How's your fondant going, JW?
Sir?
You were having issues last time. I heard you talk about it.
Well, not too much. Oh, on the fondant.
Did you figure it out?
Yeah, I've got that down pat now. I'll be giving lessons here another day or two.
No more molasses fondant?
I never did have it. My trouble was the other way, Mike. I was getting it too hard, and I found out I wasn't cooking it long enough. I guess I wasn't breaking the crystals down enough, and it was getting hard, and I added 5 more minutes to my cooking time, and it started to soften it up to suit me, where I can soften it up or break it down when I put it in the.
What, Matt set you straight on all that?
No, he don't know. He don't know. He's taking lessons from me now. No, Charlie, I'm lying to you. Yeah, he helped. No, we really. I thought that I'd overcooked it and was cooking it too long to make it as hard as it was getting. It was all right, but you couldn't see if that consistency is just right. You can get it hard, and then you can kind of crush it. It'll get soft again, and that's what I'm looking for. And I think I made 109 pounds over the weekend. That's what I made.
So what did you do? Go down to the local lake and get yourself some seaweed to put in it and stuff like that?
No.
No. I thought you'd be trying to mimic what's it called, Hive Alive.
I put a little Hive Alive in it, well, actually, I used Honeybee Healthy. And you don't want to put that in there until it cools down, though. I actually like the HBH better than I like the Hive Alive for my own personal use, but that's just my opinion.
Now, why do you show preference?
No, but it seems like my bees do better, with the addition of that, they do the Hive Alive.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's got a little more, I guess I know it's got lemongrass in it.
Yeah.
I think both of them, don't they? Don't they have both of them have lemongrass?
I don't know that, and I'm old school too. That come out way, that's been out for several years, and the Hive Alive just been out for, to my knowledge, 2 or 3 years.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. I used to use Hive Alive, but actually, that stuff's made right up in the close to the mountains in Maryland, or at least it was. All that. So, are we in the bottling department there, Tom?
Yeah, we're done for what we got to do tonight.
No, I mean, it's a different shot, I guess, is what I'm looking at. And that's your bottling tanks over your shoulder there.
Oh no, the one that's right behind me here, that's the
Yeah.
creamer that's running right now.
Mhm.
And then, well, over there, those are just some holding tanks. There's nothing in those. The bottling tanks are all right there.
Oh,
He's
there
gone.
they went.
Pull the plug.
Yep.
Something.
Well, I don't know what's happened. Yep. You can do that.
I've only ever used that stuff to keep the syrup fresh over the winter.
Yes, it will.
That's the only. Well, I shouldn't say that's the only reason I've ever used it. I've used it as a pheromone mask for combining colonies, but I'm not sure how necessary that is.
Yeah.
That's what I did this year for the first time. I mean, I finally did it. I had some spearmint oil and put some sugar water in there and sprayed everybody to get it to combine some hives. Now, looking at your shelf up there, you got, what is it? Stainless rack up there to hang different utensils on. Is that what that is?
Yeah, they're just miscellaneous stuff up there right now on the shelf.
No, but there's that bar going across there. It looks like
Yeah,
it's kind of
yeah,
like
it
a
just
hang.
has like different. It's probably something for restaurants, and it has different hooks for hooking things on it.
Mhm.
There's actually two of them up there, honestly, side by side. Just a way to get some of the stuff off the ground or off the floor and make it a little more convenient.
Yeah.
The bottling tanks are on the other side over here.
Yeah. Don't move your computer. You'll lose it.
Well, I accidentally clicked on my laptop, my mouse pad, and I don't know what the cursor was on, so it did something weird. So I logged out.
Yeah. So anyway,
JW, have you made several batches of fondant already, and continuing to do so, or what is that looking
I
like?
shut down. I made 100. I've got 109 pounds packaged up. Now I've got
Wow.
I've got on everything that I've got. I've got fondant on it already. I'm going to go in there next week and see maybe if the weather's decent and see how much they've consumed. It's been on there since the 5th.
What are you packaging that in?
That's what, 10 days. So Matt says some of his has taken off a couple pounds. Some of his hives has consumed a couple pounds of fondant in the last couple weeks.
are you putting them in like a Ziploc bag, JW?
That's what I'm doing. Yes. I just cut a couple slices in them. Matt just slices his on one side. I think I've been slicing mine on both sides. So I've got 2-inch spacers or inch and a half, at least an inch and a half. Some of them's inch and a half, some of them's 2-inch. Spacers on mine so they can get up on top of it too. So I'm using some of my old candy boards that I've got them where they're insulated with the wire in it. Instead of putting candy in them this year, I'm going to use fondant. See how that works. This is the first year I've ever used entirely all fondant.
Now, did you feed your bees any sugar water then to get
Yeah,
them up?
I did. I took it all off October the 22nd. I took all my feeders off. Liquid feeders.
So they should be well fed. I mean, or they have enough on there for a while, wouldn't they?
Well, hopefully, I don't get into my bees as much as a lot of people do, Charlie. I get on, and I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I get on my buddy Matt, and I'm not saying this to be smart. I think he gets into his, bothers him too much sometimes. He gets.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is like you say, I put the top high feeders on, and I throw the liquid to them till about the 15th of October.
Yeah.
And they're usually done by that time, taking anything, and then they should be fine until, let's say, February. You might want to go in there and look on a nice day and see whether or not they got anything left or getting close to being out. That's when I would put a fondant patty on as more of an emergency type of thing and all. But
Well, that's the reason I'm running them. I don't know. I'm not, that's just my own. This is on the fondant deal is kind of new to me. Like I said, I've always used
yeah, I mean, I've tried it myself, some fondant, where I bought like a 50-pound block of it. But the problem I had was, and that was something that we, that I'll say Hive Alive come up with, was putting them in them baggies that keeps it moist.
Yeah.
And the stuff that I had wasn't in baggies, and it would dry up like rock hard, and then the bees wouldn't hardly eat it at all. And I made some sugar bricks and stuff like that for, early spring stuff.
So is there a solution if the fondant dries up and goes hard? Can
No.
you
Not that
regenerate it at all? Yeah.
Not that I've found Brad. I'm not saying that there is one, but if it's hard, it's hard.
Can't heat it or add moisture somehow.
Matt's got it. I'm thinking, and Matt's way more experienced than what I am. He got me started on it. Heck, you can make the stuff, like what's the, and this is no offense to the people that sell the Hive Alive. I guess it's a pretty good product, but it's so expensive, the fondant or the pollen, either one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like $5 or $6 a pound.
I can make a pound of fondant for just about $1.25. So that's a fourth of the, and that's with more expensive sugar too. If you can get some cheap sugar, you can get it down there to around 70-80 cents a pound. So that's the main reason I'm doing it. I'm a little bit on the tight side, and I like to do things like that too. So it gives me something to do.
Well, I need to practice that. I'd love to know how to do that. I don't know that it would be something I'd use ongoing, but maybe, as I'm starting winter more outdoors, particularly in singles, my gut says that I'm going to be needing some kind of supplemental feed late winter. So I think I'd really like to know how to make that stuff.
Absolutely. All I put in mine is Matt's. I've got mine up to, I'm making 20-pound batches now. I started out making 5-pound batches. It's easy to make
Flower Street.
Good grief.
I think JW's personality is rubbing off on Brian.
That's not what the package says, Brian. That's a different package. You're confused.
I see what he's saying now.
He gets more and more facetious.
He better go through his recipes and make sure.
I'm supposed to be the smart aleck of this bunch. You're trying to take my place. I was like, he is going to get you kicked off, Charlie or Joey.
He's keeping his fondant in the same
20-pound batches. Has worked out to be easier to make than the smaller batches, and I
find that as when I was a cook, I found that making large batches of things was so much easier than making small batches.
That might be the comment of the night right there.
no. But it will if you. Well, it's very simple. It's just sugar, water, and I put in like I said, I'll put in a bit of honeybee healthy when I get to the end of it. After
So is that's your ingredient, sugar and water? That's
it's not sugar water. You only put in. Let's see. I put in basically be four be 8 cups of water to 20
yeah,
pounds of sugar is all you cook.
and that you just cook that up.
Matt cooks it at I hope I'm not stepping on his proprietary authority, his
Give away
formula.
all
But
the secrets.
he cooks his all at a little lower temperature and exactly a specific time period. I'm cooking mine for a little longer time period than a little higher temperature.
Mm.
Seems to work best for me. Don't tell me why.
So
He's using aluminum. He's using an aluminum cook pot, and I'm using an old style granite. The old granite type.
yeah, graniteware.
And
Yeah.
I think the granite holds the heat longer than what the aluminum does as far as cooling it down.
So to make fondant, you have to you're putting 8 cups of water with a pound of sugar,
20 pounds of sugar.
20 pounds of sugar.
8 pounds. That sugar will go when you go to cook it with a little dab of water. It'll about all turn into a liquid immediately.
Yeah. Well, you can liquefy that even with no water.
Yeah, you
Sugar.
can liquefy. Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard to liquefy it without burning. If it's
Well,
just sugar, you got to
if
stir the
you're
heck
making
out
a
of
different
it.
recipe, like if you're making candy or caramel or something, you can liquefy granular sugar. That's not an issue.
And we both add some vinegar to it. I wasn't going to get out the whole formula, Matt. I
A
just
little
going to
vinegar.
started so they could go through a bunch of messes like that.
Doesn't vinegar or the acid vinegar
They
help
want something a
invert?
little acid in it. Yes, that helps break down the
That's the inversion process.
inversion.
Yeah, because a friend of mine, we took a weekend and we made candy boards, and it was like you say, it was boiling liquid, of sugar, and we poured it into forms, and then in an hour or so, it was solid and all. And we did
room
that,
temperature, Charlie.
huh?
Room temperature. It just
Nah,
cools at room temperature.
it's like 400 degrees or something like
No,
that.
no, no. I'm saying you cool it just at room temperature. You don't.
Yeah, we
refrigerate
were
it.
outside doing it, and sometimes it worked better than others as far as trying to get that temperature perfect is pretty hard. And I don't know. We did it the one time, and I'm like, heck with this. And I started doing the sugar bricks where you take like 10 pounds of sugar and a half a cup of water, and you mix it and make it like a snowball. And I put a little bit of like a couple tablespoons of vinegar in there, white vinegar, mix all that up, and then just pack it in a, let's say 1.5 or 2 inch shim, and then it'll dry after about 2 or 3 days, and then it's solid. Actually, what I did was I put it in sheet bake pans and scored it after I had rolled it all out, and then let it dry, and then you could pick it up like squares, and then just stick it in there on the hive, and the bees will eat it up.
Yeah.
Now, one thing you definitely don't want to do, in my opinion, if you decide you want to mess with that, you don't want to go above the soft ball temperature, 234. If you go over that, you're going to have problems with it.
All right, we got a new beekeep here, Feather Flowers, first year beekeeper.
There's different reasons, different answers to that question.
Why don't you allow the bees into the winter?
Mm-hmm.
Winter bees on honey instead of sugar.
Yes.
Oh. Well, for me, I do let them eat the honey as far as sugar water honey that I gave them. And then I have either a sugar brick, or you could use fondant to me for emergency feeding when you get close to the springtime and they might be out of feed by that time or getting close to it. You don't want to let them get out of feed. That's my method. I mean, everybody like Brad said, everybody's got a different method.
My answer is this white crap. My bees are sequestered in the hive for up to 5 months, and sucrose syrup is the best feed for that situation because it has very little what they call ash or solids, impurities, etc. Yeah, in it. It's very clean, very pure, so it doesn't clog up their guts over the winter when they can't go out to poop. So that's my reasoning, my chief reasoning. My other reasoning is I sell the honey.
I leave a good bit on mine for the winter. Of course, we don't really have winters, but I've heard Mr. Pat McCaffrey say it 100 times. He'll trade a quart of sugar water for a quart of honey any day.
Yeah, well, after reading his questionnaire, I mean, I'm a honey producer. I'm taking all that honey off. You got sugar at 60 cents a pound, and I can sell honey at $12 a pound.
I pay $30 for 5 gallon pail of 2 to 1, right? And you know, if I'm selling it by the pound, that's 3 pounds of honey. So you know, you can't hardly beat the math on that.
Yeah.
But tests have shown in this part of the world, many tests have shown sucrose syrup is absolutely the best thing for them. Survivability wise, like whatever other metric you want to use, I can't speak for, but survivability wise and strength in the spring, etc., it's the best thing.
I would say if somebody wants to see some science based on that and not just practical beekeeping knowledge that's being downloaded here right now, look up Lewis Bartlett with the UAG lab. He does, there's been a lot of testing done on that specifically. And he talks about that. The difference between regular sucrose or table sugar, high fructose, a combination of both, and what happens in the colony specifically under those conditions. And much like what Brad said too, it's probably downright for him in his area where his bees can't fly for 5+ months. I would probably argue that it's downright dangerous, if not reckless, for him to allow his bees to overwinter on potentially honey as their. Brad, what do you think? I would say I would probably use the word likely that they would end up with some sort of gut illness.
Yeah, they're just dead. So if you're looking for research, like you say, Dr. Rob Curry, University of Manitoba, has done extensive multi-year testing on this, and actually, I think you can see a presentation online. Was it on Manitoba Beekeeper Association YouTube channel? I think, but yeah, in practice, I've seen, I've only been keeping bees for 10 years, so not a long time, but a while to see some patterns.
Sure.
And to be honest, I have seen quite often, maybe a newer beekeeper start, and maybe they don't get the, mentorship, and they don't get the right coaching, and then they go through certain assumptions, and they do that. Well, almost every time it ends in disaster, right? I'm going to winter my bees on honey, and then come to the spring, come to, April, all their bees are dead.
Yeah.
That's actually a thing that again, in my climate, which I'm kind of in the center of Canada, if that person didn't know, people will take the honey out of, if there's a fall flow, they will be taking honey out of the brood chamber.
Yeah.
Right, because it's poisoned in this in the
Well, it's like Ian talks about that the what is it, the canola honey.
The canola honey is probably the worst.
It actually gets so hard in the comb that the bees can't even eat it. The way
It's cement. Yeah. So it's got that other characteristic that it's not only got ash in it and solids in the honey, pollens, yeast, stuff like that, but it's also granulates so hard that they can't use it. If anything, they chip it out and throw it out the front door.
Yeah.
Brad, how would it be if you were doing your wintering over in double deeps? I know with the single deeps you can just feed them up because you've taken everything out of the colony. But if you were to do it with double deeps, would they still have some of their own honey?
Yeah, they would. They would. That's a really good question, Mike. And it's unavoidable. Now, again, in my area, the forage that I have in my area is probably one of the better winter feeds for them, but it's still not as good as sucrose syrup. So yeah, they do have some feed in the bird chambers, um, but I think what happens is when I feed them up, uh, they're filling the brood nest with that syrup in the fall, curing that and capping it, and then that's what they're going to use first over the winter. So for the next 3 4 months, that's what they're eating before they probably get into any of their stored honey that they put in
Which
there,
by then they should
in
have
August.
flight.
And by then they may have some flight, which that's the magical thing, right?
Yeah.
As soon as they can get a couple of days of flight, they can cleanse. The danger is pretty well over. I've found, and again, in 10 years, I've only wintered outdoors twice. But I've found consistently when I winter double deeps, uh, the bottom box is completely untouched and full of syrup in the spring. So it's kind of it's kind of pointless. Doubles are so much harder to manage, and such a pain that this year I'm trying singles. So get back to me in April. Maybe they'll all be starved. I don't know.
Well,
But I do know I have to check them in February to make sure they have enough feed, and perhaps that's why I'm looking forward to perhaps adding fondant just to.
I know
So
that the guy in Pennsylvania, he does singles, and I think he was doing single 8 framers. And of course, he doesn't have quite the brutal winter you got, but in one of his videos, that was one of the things he did do is come somewhere's around Christmas time or the first of the year, he would put a candy board like 2 or 3 inches thick, where he gave them that extra food in order to make sure that they didn't go out of thing. And that's something that you probably might have to do.
Yeah, I have to keep watch on that. I can actually a guy there was somebody last week asked me at the bee club meeting about how much do you feed your bees, and how much syrup do they take and stuff, and I said, well, I really have only been doing the same thing I do every year, and the reason I'm comfortable with that is that in 10 years I think I've seen a colony starve twice. So what I'm doing doesn't end up in starvation. So as far as how much I feed, when I stop feeding, how much I feed, uh, seems to be working. So exactly how much it is, generally it's about 5 gallons per of 2 to 1. So I'm hoping to kind of develop the same process with the singles outdoors. Exactly how do I have to do this in order to be successful is what I'm looking after.
Did the feather flowers ever say where they? I'm assuming that's a lady. Where she's
Yeah,
located.
where's Feather Flowers located? We'll find out.
And
Because there
Jeremy,
is.
yeah,
There's
and
there's different ways, right? There's like Joey's feeding bees all winter probably. I don't know.
I wouldn't. She may not have to feed them all winter, but
Yeah, but it depends on where you are, right?
yeah.
in Maine, they're up there
In Maine.
Okay,
Okay.
well,
in cold
Probably
country.
Oh
a
yeah.
little more like my winter in Maine.
that's
Yeah.
Mike. You need to answer that one. She's in Maine. What would you? What's your winter feed program, if any?
they're all fed.
Okay.
You can't feel. I I make
Maine?
a winter cover similar to Brad's, but it has a rapid round up in the top that I fill with dry sugar, and that becomes my moisture board.
Okay, got you.
And they don't even go up there until late February and March if they need to at all. Some years they don't touch it. It's just and it allows you not to really open the hive. And in the spring, you can look down and see if you got bees alive.
Yeah. Do you run doubles, singles? What do you run primarily?
Let's see. This year I've got singles, 5.5, doubles, 8 frames. You name it.
Mike
I'm
can't
running them
decide.
all.
Well, that
I'm
sounds
running
like
double nukes singles, double nukes triples, doubles.
this is the first winter in my situation that I've gone. This is the first year that I've gone into winter in the last 10, 11, 12 years, I'm going to say, without having some 5 frame stuff. But I don't have a 5 frame. I don't have any 5 frame nukes going. I'm wintering over this year for the first time in a long time. So
See, Alex up in Quebec there, he made some winter covers, not too dissimilar to what I made, but he made access to the bees, for the bees to have access to the cover like yours, Mike. And then he made a removable insulation block in the center so that later in the winter he could go take the cover off without exposing the bees and then take out part of the insulation and he can put some feed in there and cover it up again.
I
So I thought
think
that was
that's
pretty
kind of like
ingenious.
Etienne Tardif,
Is that what Etienne's doing as well?
something like that. He can put fondant, but he's got 6 inches insulation in the ceiling. But he's got screen bottom boards, but he seals off the bottom because otherwise up there the moisture would come out and freeze the entrance openings. So he has screen bottom boards, but it's sealed. The hive stands are sealed underneath, so the moisture is allowed to drop down through if it
Right,
has
right.
to.
So Feathers Flowers uh, said that they were advised to not take honey from a first year hive. My question on that would be who who gave you the advice? Was it someone in your area? Because almost every piece of beekeeping advice you're going to run into, you have to weigh it against what's appropriate for your area. And listening to general beekeeping advice, on YouTube or internet or wherever, you always have to take it with a grain of salt because again, things are very different. And in Maine, I think you probably have uh, a fairly brutal winter. Would that
Yeah,
be
And then my question is
she's a first
did
year
you?
beekeeper. She probably started with no foundation, drawing from
perhaps?
home.
Yeah,
So the first year to get a honey crop here, even in a double deep, you got to have an exceptional flow
yeah.
to get them to draw all that out and draw a medium out.
And the biggest thing is with feathers is did you inspect the supers to see how much were they full supers of honey in there come fall? If they're not, that's when you should have fed them, or you need to put fondant on them or whatever to keep them going.
Yeah, fondant's probably your best
Right
bet if
now it is, yeah, up
they
there.
don't have enough.
I'm sure they got snow up there. Mike, you got snow?
No. You see,
But it's
Maine,
cold.
Maine depends on where you are. I mean, there's Maine that's probably colder than Brad, and then there's also the seacoast of Maine, and Maine drops down alongside New Hampshire, so
Okay.
it goes oh probably about halfway down New Hampshire, I would say.
Where's Vino Farm,
He's in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Because his winters are pretty brutal. Like His winters are probably as bad as mine. He gets a lot more snow than I get.
Well, yeah, it all depends. It's every year is different. Like the year I did a big monster house, we ended up with about 10 feet that year.
Yeah,
I did nothing but shovel from October till
yeah.
friggin'
And
June, it felt like.
something I want to say to what is it? Flowers, bees, or something. It's gone off the
Feathers,
screen.
flowers.
Feathers, flowers.
Flowers.
Sorry. Is snow. If you're in an area that does get snow, if your hive can get a snowbank, a snowdrift, and covered in snow, that's what you want. That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's just a big insulated blanket that it protects the hive. So don't be afraid if it gets covered with snow. Don't touch it. Just leave it alone.
And
Go dig it out in late winter, kind of thing.
and then if he
I
could,
never even cleaned my entrances off.
Central Maine.
Everybody's so just let it get buried. It's fine.
And
The heat-
people always concern themselves, and they think like a human being.
Yeah.
Like in the snow, they can't breathe, and that
Yeah.
couldn't be further from the truth.
No.
There's absolutely oxygen down there, and I would also say that the research shows that bees their metabolism will slow way down, almost maybe not exactly, but almost like a fish, where they don't need the same oxygen level in there. They can cope with the gases that are inside that colony.
They can cope with extremely high CO2 levels.
Yeah.
Extremely high.
As
Way
a matter
higher
of
than
fact,
a person.
when they go into that semi-comatose state, I know it's not that, but that they actually consume less food stores. So ideally, you
Almost
wouldn't
none.
need as much food like where Brad
Yeah.
or you are at, as opposed to me. I would need more food in my colony than Brad would need because my temperatures do this in the middle part of the country, and Brad's bees are going to lock up tight, So you could arguably say that you probably wouldn't need as much food for the same time span of winter. I'll say that.
You're talking about CO2. Another advantage of getting sequestered like that and having CO2 levels rise is varroa mites don't like CO2.
Yes.
They die. So
Yes.
high CO2 levels are very bad for varroa mites. So that can help
This is
us out.
JW's apprentice.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Sounding
Decided
good
I was,
tonight.
I was going to
test
test out my test out my connection.
The pig is back.
Oh, is
You
it
made Brad's night.
is it bad?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
What's up, Oink?
I thought I was the only hog here.
How's that? Is that any better without the earbud?
Nope, pig is still there.
Joey got somebody backstage.
Yeah, fixing to get rid of them.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Joey, be cautious. We've talked about this before because I see what the private chat says.
Yeah. I don't know why they allow them to write in the private chat if they're stuck in the back.
That's what I was wondering too. Oh no, Matt, we weren't kicking you off, buddy. You're all right. You've been vetted.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing?
Hey.
Uncle Bob.
You guys are in the winter wonderlands up there, except Joey. What was it like where you were at, Joey?
Huh?
How warm was it today?
I didn't even check the temperature, but it was a nice day. It was really comfortable.
It was it started off cold and then it got about 70s, 72, something like that. It was nice out.
And this is just a picture. Actually, the apiary is as green as it is in June.
Still green?
Right now. Oh yeah, it's beautiful right there.
Nice.
Where'd that go?
I should put up a more accurate picture.
I think Sandy called him back to more work, Joey.
He saw me click the link and he ditched out. There he is.
There he is.
I was trying to connect.
Did you not want everyone seeing Sandy hit you?
Yeah.
She's out selling honey at the bingo tonight. So,
There we go.
There you go.
That's more like it.
Keep
so
her working.
just, listen in. You guys are having a great chance. So I'll pop in and test the microphone.
It's still grunting.
Hey, Matt, when you talk, try talking louder and see if that doesn't change things. Remember how we were talking the other night when Brad made some mention of things? Sure. I feel like it was better.
Seems like he's worse on my channel than he is everybody else's.
Well, I don't want to stay too long if I'm breaking up, but just wanted to answer any questions. I know JW was trying to fill in as the teacher, so I wanted to. Which he did a great job, I will say.
Good.
So yeah, it's just having fun with it. We're making 40-pound batches this evening. So it's actually 4 25s. Came out to about 100 pounds.
Nice.
And then doing some larger batches now. So I've graduated from the kitchen now to the backyard using a turkey fryer. So.
Did you find one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure I could use another.
Yeah, you're welcome to grab that one I've got.
Yeah. Yep.
And like I said, I still have that half bag of pollen sub. You can have that.
I've got a 80-gallon cast iron kettle out here, Matt.
Oh boy. The problem is, it's still a backyard deal, So I've figured out how I can generate about 200 pounds, and that's as good as I'm getting right now. So, but the biggest part, other than production, is just the kind of everyone's aware of fondant, but I think winter feeding is an important time of year to really take serious in the fact of limited resources out there and availability of what we're putting inside the hive. In my personal opinion, and I've been this is my third winter, so I'm probably the biggest rookie of anyone on this live right now, right? But in that time, I wasn't going to take my mentor's advice saying the mountain camp method was the only way. Like immediately, I knew that just didn't sound right. Something about that just didn't jive. So I started practicing, and the first year I made sugar bricks, which come springtime they're still in there, and there are some bees on it, but they didn't consume it. I think actually they were probably hauling most of it out. Like a super hard sugar brick. And then with that, a little bit of culinary past, previous employment jobs. I've had some cooking experience enough to know how to read a candy thermometer and do just simple ingredients. It's just water, sugar, and vinegar. Is the acid, so that starts the inversion process of the sugar. And then the secret really is the time and the temperature at which you're cooking it. And then with that, you're actually creating a chemistry in front of you. You're watching that sugar flip. The sucrose molecule is actually a pretty stubborn molecule, being a polysaccharide. It has multiple elements that are holding it together. So the key is if you bring it to that softball temperature for the right amount of time, you're actually breaking those bonds and turning it from polysaccharides to monosaccharides, basically mimicking what the bees are doing, with the different enzymes that they're adding to the honey. So it's just, I feel a premium feed for our bees. It's actually really pretty simple to make. It will take people that want to try it, a couple times to mess up and kind of learn. But the instructions I put on that video are spot on for anyone to do it, given the difference in elevation maybe for boiling temperature. Someone at a mile high in Denver, for instance, would need to adjust for that softball temperature. But I mean, anyone can produce it in bulk and kind of stay sustainable. That's a big part of it. I wasn't gonna. We have about 140 hives going into winter, and I'll be darned if I was going to pay the Hive Alive price or anywhere close to it. So it's just myself kind of being cheap, kind of like what JW is saying, cheap and frugal, but at the same time, it makes sense when you're trying to make a business out of this. Every cent counts, right?
Well,
So,
saving $1,000 isn't being cheap.
yeah, right.
It's being smart.
Yeah. So I know last year before I started this recipe, I went and grabbed 3 boxes from the local bee store, Hive Alive. And when I went to go feed that, early January, I quickly found out how much I was going to need to purchase, and there was just no way, that I was going to be able to do that. So,
Yeah.
So that's what forced me. I guess money's a big motivator, and saving money for me and my operation is key, especially starting out.
Well, you're sure helping the rest of us to show us how to do it and the recipe and tips and tricks and whatnot. So, thank you very much.
Oh,
for that.
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's I think everyone should be, if possible, just make it, and if you mess up, just like what JW is saying, open feed it, because like for instance, I'm making it in bulk, but I'll go to these out yards and I'll put out about 8 to 10 pounds of this fondant in a day, and they will completely lick it up. I mean, almost shine the cedar planks I'm putting it on. And that's going somewhere, because it is moist. It's not dry enough for them to crumble and try to carry away like they would dry
Really,
sugar.
you just set it out and then open feed it.
Absolutely, yeah. Yep.
Wow.
I was wondering about that.
I have a couple of shorts I just put out on just the last week or so, placing it out, and
can you dissolve it if you wanted to put it in a syrup or something? Can you put it in some hot water or something? And
absolutely. So
yeah.
It's not like doing creamed. It's not doing creamed honey, but it's on a chemistry line. You're controlling the consistency of that. It's sugar, making the fondant, but you're just controlling that consistency by doing the manipulation of the heat, time, and then at the end, whipping it with a drill. And when you whip it with a drill, that's what it's the Achilles heel for it. It just goes up and it pops. Say, at that point you've created magic is what I say in the video, but it almost feels like it because you feel like you're cheating, like how did I just make this? But
I was given about 150 pounds of sugar that had been left in a moist environment, and it was just like bags of cement this year. So I put it in my big wax melter and added enough water to make it 1-to-1 ratio. So I added the same weight of water, and I just kind of stirred it around a little bit, and I turned the heat on in the melter. I didn't make it terribly hot. Probably, I don't know, might have been 100 degrees Fahrenheit or so. Not really very hot. And I just went back a couple times, gave it a little stir, and wasn't long. It was about a day, and that stuff was totally crystal clear. It had completely dissolved in the water, so that was great. I could just add that much more sugar to it to make 2-to-1, and off to the bees.
Yeah, there's no waste with it. I started putting it out on some hives on my out yards, the hives that are let's say 15 miles from my house. Some of those, the furthest yards away, I actually have put fondant on already just because, they're furthest away. If we got a cold snap, I couldn't get to them, whatever, so it was kind of a test. Those are actually some of the yards I had to feed the most intensely to get them up to weight. And I did hear Charlie asking earlier, if JW may have fed up, stir up until late. I was doing the same thing. I know a lot of those hives I probably put at least 10 gallons to after the honey flow get up to weight to give you an idea. So,
Matt, I have a question about making this stuff. If a person's going to add essential oils or honeybee healthy or anything like that, then at what stage are you mixing that in? And I guess what concentration? Like, how do you judge that?
So basically, per gallon of if it were to be in liquid form, per gallon rate at that point. So the weight of the sugar that you're using or the size batch you're using, Live recommends 2 tablespoons per gallon.
Okay.
Or a little.
Mix that in the last thing too.
You let it cool down though, right?
Yeah.
Well, the softball temperature.
120.
So
That's really where
not
that's-
hearing you at all right now, Matt. So you don't want to mix it in while it's hot, and then as it's cooling, though, it's setting up, is it not?
Not too much still. When it starts setting, it'll set up at once. What Matt told me to do was when it gets down to 125, and then when you add your additives, whatever you're going to use,
see.
Hive Alive or Honeybee Health.
I see. Okay, so you get down to 125, add your magic syrup, whatever you're putting in it, and okay.
And beat the heck out of it. It'll. But if you beat it too long, it'll set up on the in your cooking pan on you. You know, it's kind of a you have to kind of learn by experience. Is all I can tell you. You can tell after you do 2 or 3 batches, you can tell where you're stirring it too long or not. You know, or too hard or not.
Am I still cutting out?
Yeah.
No, you're good now.
So at 125, Brad,
okay,
is when I would add anything, whether it be
on the way down.
Yep.
Yep.
At that point, at 125 is when it gets whipped. So I'll put I have a Milwaukee drill, and it's just it's basically like a big egg beater. You know, I use it. Well, I don't use this one for it, but whipping up plaster or mortar for tile setting, mastic, anything. Just a big whip, and you just go to town for it's sugar honey. That's basically what you've created by heating it.
Yeah.
A perfect 5-to-1 sugar honey, pure sucrose, and it's same consistency as honey, almost warm honey because it's still but you just whip it, and at that time it's going to cool down, but change from a golden sugar honey to more of a opaque yellow mousse, and then it'll cool down, and eventually, I don't know if Joe can zoom in on that, but these are the blocks, or I can go get a bigger one, but this is just cut portions from that was the depth of the pan.
So squeeze that. How malleable is that? Oh, quite malleable.
So I'll squeeze this, and I like to step on them and create a flat patty like that.
Right.
Which is, you know, I mean, it's not, it's soft.
It's quite soft.
So.
Oh yeah.
So okay. There's nothing dry about it, and the way I'll feed it, I'll grab a shim here real quick. But these insulated covers here. But this is from last season, and ignore this middle strip. This is for a divided 10 frame, double 5. So ignore this middle strip divider, but this is the set. It's just a candy board with a 1/2-inch cloth, 3/8 space around here. You know, give them that nice bee space around underneath this cloth, but they can reach that wire and get up there real easy. I find that the 1/2-inch, in my thought, probably doesn't fray wings as much as a 1/4-inch would over time, because they're spending a lot of the winter time up in this feeder shim with this heat dome above them. They're almost up here doing cartwheels. But it just I taped the whole thing, and I leave this side taped, so it literally can just hinge.
Nice.
So when I go up to a hive, I can just hinge it open.
That's fast.
That Reflectix is actually taped to this poly isolation, which is basically a styrofoam board, but it's more of a dense. It's not like styrofoam. That's a brand name, as you say in your videos. But a poly iso has that reflective barrier.
Yep.
So 1 inch of this is R6, to give an idea.
Okay.
But if you were to touch that foil to your cheek, for instance, you'll almost immediately feel the radiation from your heat, just like a paramedic. If they're concerned about your core temperature, they're going to strip you naked and they're going to put a foil blanket next to your skin.
Yep.
That's the fastest way to get heat back to your body. So that's my thought of keeping this heat radiating back down. I mean, we run a condensing total, so that's what they'll leave on those feeder shims. I mean, it's just they'll eat every single bit of it out. I mean, they're left, but so that's basically how we're doing our feeder shims.
I wonder,
You
could you put that in a parchment sack of some kind? You imagine you could.
Oh yeah,
It's not wet.
yeah. You could use wax paper, probably butcher paper. You could use any kind of paper. They're gonna.
Yeah.
You can put it this way: you can almost start a robbing frenzy out in the yard with this fondant. As soon as you pull it out of a bucket, you better be ready to. I mean, you have procedure. Put it that way. You can't just go down to Nelly because this time of year, there's nothing out there, and I think they can smell me coming. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Matt does basically the same thing, Brad, but I pour mine out in a big baking pan and throw away aluminum jobs that you can buy at Walmart or them places. And then I use parchment paper on mine because it'll stick to that, when it gets hard. And then just take a knife, or I do, take a knife and cut it up in sections. That's how it'll turn out after you. I even make mine in bigger batches than what he's got there.
What's that?
I like them about an inch thick to start with, but some of his is.
This is a 12.5-pound block. So it's just
that's much more solid though than the other.
It's not. Where's the block?
Crush it, it'll break down.
What right is when I smash these blocks, form more solid pan form. I'm calling it. I activate it or I charge it. You could easily just put these in your feeder shim and call it a day. What I'm doing is making it as malleable as possible. And I'll take this bag and I'll just make about 5 slits on top of the Ziploc bag. And they will, within a week or two, just turn it into basically, they'll get in those slits and eat their way into it, just like a Hive Alive bag.
A few years ago, I made some pollen patties for the spring, and I bought a box of their little hamburger envelopes, and I think they're made of parchment or wax paper or something. I think it's parchment, and those are the handiest thing because they're preformed. I could just put a wad of patty inside there, mash it down, fold it over, and they were so easy then to handle and to apply in the hive. And the thing I really like about that is far more environmentally friendly than plastic.
I agree.
And the bees will totally take care of that paper by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to cut it at all. Like I just put it in there, they'll chew a hole in that and they'll just go crazy on it.
Is that more an envelope style parchment paper, Brad?
Yeah, it's like a little envelope.
Yeah, we've used those before for our pollen patties that we've made ourselves, and it does work beautifully.
I wonder if I could put the fondant in there. I might not be able to put quite as much in. I might have to put 2 or 3 packets on a hive. So
I'll make a portion, and the hives that I'm putting this on, I'll put anywhere from 2 to 4 of these bags in at a time, and that'll hold the biggest hive, even if it's in 3 deeps, it'll hold it for 2 weeks solid. 70-degree fly days. So my whole goal right now is just to keep the hives from losing weight. Because when we have up in the higher 70s, almost 80 degrees for a couple of days, they can really go through it. As you know too. So that's the form it is. As soon as it comes out of the pan, it's dry to the touch. It's not super sticky.
Nice. Oh yeah.
So it's
dry.
Yeah, it's not. Now if I put this in a bag and mashed it, it's gonna. it's just literally going to change into that suspended, super saturated. It's just fondant, basically. I mean, it's that form, what it is. And really, I was trying to go for the consistency of Hive Alive. I would say that this might be a step less firm as Hive Alive. I've also noticed that in some of the hives, they don't eat all of the Hive Alive package, whereas this, there's nothing left. When you go back to check, it's either they have it or they don't. Yep. Yeah, that would work. That would work really well. Just taking these blocks like this and making your portions and smashing them down, putting them in a bucket, and you just, pre-portion going to your yard.
That may be exactly. Show me the envelope, Tom. That might be exactly what I'm using.
Basically,
Pretty
like
close. Yeah.
Egg.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm using, or what I did use. Yeah, I still got a whole whack of those left.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm just looking for a way to use them up.
Well, there's a box of what we have, a box of 1,000. We've already gone through probably another box of these when we were making. This was a year or so ago when we made a bunch of pollen patties, and we just, like you said, you basically just dipped it in there. And after we dipped out and portioned off, and you get good at it, you don't have to measure it off. When you dip it plenty of times, you know what you got in there. Dip it in there, and you just smash it out. And we lay them inside of something, throw them in the freezer until we need them, pull them out a couple days before, and toss them in, and walk away.
Yeah. Great. Well, that's good information, Matt. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Brian put a link in up over there in the comment.
I'm just really stubborn, and someone told me I had to do it a certain way, and I had to figure out another way to do it because
I'm kind of the same way.
Hey, Matt, I bet you right now you can't make me 1,000 pounds of fondant. You wouldn't do it, buddy. Wink, wink.
Old Tom Sawyer.
Yeah. I bet you won't send Brad 1,000 pounds either, would he, Brad?
He's not good enough to send me
He's
fondant.
not good enough. You can't do it, Matt.
Don't
just tell him what the price is and let him and make him 1,000 pounds.
You're muted, Bob.
That's the big golf check. Just write the big golf check, and all things can happen, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Hey, JW, shut up. Nobody asked you this one. It's my buddy.
I'd get a 50% deposit first on that from him.
I
As long
can't
as I can pay in Canadian money.
make me a hamburger. I'll pay you for it on Tuesday.
Wimpy.
Right.
Matt's the sugar daddy. Yeah, that's what your handle is now. Sugar daddy.
We could probably have a shirt made up for him.
Sugar Daddy Valley Honey Company.
Tell him what size underwear you wear, because maybe he can get you some of those.
He's speaking from experience, JW. Did he gift you some unmentionables?
Brad,
it's
he's
almost
He's going to get us.
Get those every year. Underwear and socks, right?
Yep.
Christmas gift for men.
Brad, that guy up there is going to get us kicked off of this chat for good, you know?
I'd like to answer that question. I don't know. John sent me some stuff last spring to try to see how the bees would work it and eat it and get along with it. And the bees loved it and they ate it. And I tried it too, and it was really delicious. But I don't know if that's the product that turned into the Philco's Turbo Fondant or not. So if it is, then, I definitely would recommend it for a basic fondant. It seems like a really good product.
Or a dessert.
Or a dessert. You could probably roll that out and well, fondant a cake. I used to do cakes years and years ago, and that's where the word fondant came into my life, was a fondant icing on a cake. I only did one. I actually did a wedding cake one time with rolled fondant as a frosting.
Baker's fondant contains cornstarch, which is
right.
Some people find that we can buy Baker's fondant. It's like, well, it's not good for the for their gut for sure.
Probably, yeah. I don't know if it would harm the bees, but it's probably something.
Yellow
to
jackets
avoid.
love it.
They claim that the old timers used to claim that Baker's fondant was. I'm not talking science here. I'm talking about old time beekeepers. They said don't use the Baker's fondant in it. So
yeah,
I'm just saying. As far as I'm going.
I'm pretty sure Michael Palmer uses Baker's fondant. Just feeding an emergency in the spring.
and there's a lot of
fondant
wives'
of some
tales too
sort.
about certain times you're going to add something and use icing sugar. Well, icing sugar has cornstarch in it too as an anti-caking. It's not very much, right? And then a lot of people say, "Oh my God, don't use icing sugar," but I've used icing sugar for all kinds of things. It's
Is
not
that
hurt
like
my
powdered
bees.
sugar?
Yes,
And that's what they make
powdered sugar, but
that and Caro syrup is
icing
what they
sugar
make the queen candy
specifically
blocks.
has an anti-caking agent in it. Icing sugar, I guess, is a powdered sugar. So there's a lot of stuff that's said out there, but JW talking about the old time beekeepers warring against Baker's fondant, and I said before that sometimes practice is different than theory.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, there's no difference between practice and theory, but in practice, there is.
Well, I put some stuff in some of my beehives on occasion. I'll just tell you that I wouldn't dare put out here on this chat. That I use for certain things that I wouldn't begin to put out.
I use icing sugar, which with the cornstarch, anti-caking agent for queen candy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they're really not consuming much of that. So
No.
Yeah.
So to give you an idea, Brad, that's what I used for my queen candy this year is a bag of this blend of fondant that I'm making this year. I ended up figuring out late last season, and I kept a bag to see how it held up in the truck throughout our summer. And we can get up to 110 heat index, pretty hot, especially in the back of my truck. And I kept it in a little tote with some other bee supplies, and I was able to make queen candy out of it all year long, which that was my to see how the consistency would hold up to heat, because that's.
So you used it as is for queen candy?
Yep, in that harder form, let's call it.
Right.
So that's about the consistency of it, to give you an idea.
I suggest, Vincent, that fondant that you're considering might be what they're using. A lot of folks use that right there for queen candy. Powdered sugar and honey.
Is Mark Miller still in here? Because if I'm not mistaken, that's what he uses as well.
Yeah,
he's in here.
Oh yeah, Mark, is that correct? You've used powdered sugar, is that right, or am I wrong?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what he.
That's not.
But
I use
also
powdered
like
sugar and Caro syrup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
Unless
also like Brad pointed out too, they're not eating very much of that. So is there a trade-off there? Might be.
I've made it with my own honey, but that's Queen's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe you're supposed to use honey in the queen candy if it's going to someone else.
Talking about
Matt, can you read the comment here from Flower Street? Can you read that?
I can't. I don't think.
It says, Matt, how important is the style of bit
any good paint stir, Brian, will work. I'm going to suggest it don't have to be a specific kind. Would you say that? Would you agree with that, Matt? I think what he's going to get is the same thing as what I'm using too.
So Mark grinds the sugar. It's not just icing sugar.
No, that's just what it stirs with. It's
Right, I
got
have
sugar
one of
on it.
those.
He hadn't cleaned his up, but that's just a paint stir.
Yeah.
Does anybody have one of these?
I do.
Do you use this, Big Mike?
It's for creamed honey.
Yeah. Have you used that for fondant?
No, I used it for pollen patties.
And does that work really well?
Sure, why not?
Well, I don't know. This is brand new. I never even used it before.
It's the only thing I've
might
used
be
it
getting
for.
a
I haven't
little
made any creamed honey.
Fondant starts hardening. Tom, I'm going to suggest that might be it might gather up in that middle of that thing.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah, that's what they call a jiffy mixer. I mean, like Mike said, that's for creamed honey, but I don't know. Would that work?
It should.
As well?
Except for, no, probably not as well, because that's made more for turning slow. What Matt's using is
doesn't have paddles on it.
Yeah, this is definitely not going to introduce much air, and I think that's specifically why Mike said creamed honey.
Yeah,
and that is the reason I bought it, not for fondant mixing. So just FYI.
No, an aspect you're absolutely trying to incorporate as much air as you can, whipping the living snot out, intentionally, because you're breaking that sugar's back into controlled form that you want. If you didn't do that, you would never be able to control it like you can in the bag. It's solid, soft sugar brick, or fondant patty if you want to. It would just, if you didn't whip it, it would be a gooey mess. Put it that way.
It's going to be a gobbed up mess in that thing as soon as it starts hardening.
Can you whip it into like whipped cream so they have soft, fluffy fondant?
Well, it literally changes opaque from a clear honey, like a color. I cook it in cool to 120 golden sugar. And as soon as you start whipping it, it's going to start getting a little bit more opaque and just kind of like the color that you're seeing there in the bag. Instead of a clear liquid, it gets a yellowish color.
Matt, show that bit style one more time, please.
Yeah, I use that for mixing Durabon.
Okay, yeah.
So
now that you purchased that from the hardware store, is that correct?
This is a one, from this is what I would whip all my grout with.
Now, do you use that one ambidextrously, grout then fondant again?
It's a little calcium. No, this one is strictly. I have a secret whip for your batch though.
My bees like calcium.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and shut the chat down, y'all, and we can stay on and talk in the background, in the back room. I appreciate everybody coming on, and let's see, who was that? Oh, Feather Flowers for the super chat. That was cool. All right. Well, I'll see everybody on the next one.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.